And for a closer look at the impact on schools, let's bring in TDSB spokesperson Ryan Bird. Ryan, thanks for joining us. What do parents need to know if this strike lasts for days or weeks? Will there be online learning or asynchronous learning going on?
What we're saying right now is that if job action does continue into next week, we will be moving as quickly as we can to synchronous, live classroom, remote learning, obviously as fast as we can. So that's something that obviously we'd like to avoid and make sure that there's an agreement in place before any further impact into next week. But if for some reason it does continue, we'll be making those plans as quickly as possible.
And how concerned are you? I mean, kids have had so much disruption. I think there's two schools of parents. One that thinks, hey, this is, we don't want to go back to online learning. We don't want a repeat of the pandemic. And then another group of parents who say, okay, well, we're ready for this. We know the drill. We know how this goes. But how are you feeling about this?
I think everyone, CUPE members included, want to be in schools right now. They want to be at work as normal. But obviously this job action may indeed continue, and that's where we have been planning behind the scenes to make sure that we can be ready for whatever may occur. If it does continue into next week, we want to be able to make sure that we're transitioning into that synchronous online learning as quickly as possible so that learning can continue. Today, as you know, we have asynchronous or non-live classroom instruction. It's independent work at home for this one day. But again, if it does extend into additional days next week, we have to quickly be able to transition.
I understand that part. I have 3 children in the TDSB myself, Ryan. Let's say that this turns really ugly and it drags on beyond days into weeks, into months. And some parents, some households don't have access to multiple laptops for their children. Some parents still need to go to work. Is there a long-term plan? Is there a discussion about what would happen in that scenario yet?
Yeah, we're actually actively looking at our computers right now. Before, during the beginning of the pandemic, many of the computers were handed out centrally, but our schools do have a number of computers. We have a number of grades now where all grades predominantly have computers because we are working closer and closer to getting a one-to-one computer to student ratio right now. So we do know a number of students already have school computers, but if this is something that will be an extended job action, then we have plans in place to begin rolling out computers to those students so that we can get them online learning as quickly as possible.
And will the TDSB be putting out a letter to parents today and daily as the strike progresses in terms of what you've learned?
We'll continue to provide updates to our parents and staff as needed. Sometimes, there's nothing new to report, and other times there are definitely news pieces to pass along. So we're aiming to provide another parent update as soon as possible, another staff update as soon as possible. We're going to keep everyone up to date as the news develops. As you would know, it seems to be changing on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. So it has been more challenging than other times to keep everyone up to date on a timely basis, but we're working to make sure that people have as much information as possible once we receive it.
Okay, you're watching it closely, as are we. That is TDSB spokesperson Ryan Bird. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks so much.